Hello and welcome to Active News. I'm Clara Pierce.
And I'm Isabella Galbraith. Here at Active News, we bring news to young people, presented by young people.
That's right. We're here to keep you informed about the world around you so that you can actively engage in society. Without further ado, here's Isabella.
Thanks, Clara. There is no doubt that coronavirus has had devastating consequences for human health. But how has coronavirus affected the world's economy? Let's break it down.
Put simply, the economy is all about how money is made and spent in a certain area. There's the local economy, national economy, and the global or world economy. The economy is strong when people are making and spending money. When coronavirus hit, businesses were forced to close worldwide, and people were forced to stay in their homes. This was problematic for the economy because when people are forced to stay home from work, they're unable to make money and therefore unable to spend money. This caused the world economy to nosedive or enter what is called an economic recession.
This is especially problematic for small, local businesses as they rely heavily on customer sales to pay their rent and other expenses. Luckily, some larger businesses are helping these smaller businesses. Facebook, for example, is spending $100 million in cash grants to help small businesses pay for rent and other costs during this hard time. Additionally, Amazon has donated $100 million in donations to American food banks to feed those in need. Companies like Facebook and Amazon are helping to improve the economy, but there is no doubt that the road to economic recovery will be long. Now, let's hear from Clara about a different perspective on the effects of coronavirus.
Thank you, Isabella. Although coronavirus has been devastating to humans, there have been positive effects of coronavirus for the planet. Air pollution has decreased tremendously since the outbreak began. Satellites over China and Italy have shown a reduction in nitrogen dioxide emissions in the air. Additionally, China reports that carbon dioxide emissions went down 25% and continue to decline. Both nitrogen dioxide and carbon dioxide are greenhouse gases, which, when released into the atmosphere, contribute to global warming. So, how is coronavirus responsible for decreasing these greenhouse gas emissions? Well, the answer is rather straightforward. Humans have been on lockdown to contain the virus. Therefore, power plants, cars, planes, and factories that are usually being run at full capacity by humans are being used significantly less. Coronavirus may be devastating for humans, but it has been exactly what the planet needs to reset. In the aftermath of the coronavirus, it will be important for the human race to look at this data, recognize how we contribute to global warming, and how we, as humans, must be the ones to stop it to save our planet.
Speaking of planets, NASA's InSight lander on Mars has recently discovered that earthquakes occur on Mars.
Wait. Don't you mean Marsquakes?
Well, yes, I suppose I do. Since the InSight lander touched down on Mars in November 2018, it has felt around 450 Marsquakes of relatively low strength. Let's see how similar these Marsquakes are to earthquakes.
On Earth, tectonic plates under the crust are always moving slowly past each other, causing friction and storing energy. When one of the plates finally gets unstuck and slips away, all of the stored up energy is released and causes an earthquake.
Thanks, Miss Science. Now let's compare those to Marsquakes. Instead of plate tectonics, quakes on Mars are due to the planet's long-term cooling from its molten formation roughly 4.5 billion years ago. As the planet cools from the core, it shrinks slightly in size. This means the hard outer layers have to break in order to stay on Mars' surface, thus causing a Marsquake. So far, the strongest Marsquakes were magnitude 4, meaning they would be felt dozens of miles from the epicenter, but not strong enough to cause much damage.
So, I guess they're mini Marsquakes? Yum, that sounds like a new chocolate bar. Now let's come back down from outer space and head to the land down under. In Australia, archaeologists have discovered fossils that reveal a worm-like primordial creature that has existed since prehistoric times, 555 million years ago. This worm-like creature goes by the name of Acharya, or Acharya for short. These Acharya were a mere 2 to 7 millimeters long. That is about a quarter inch, or the size of a small pebble. The Acharya is one of the most important prehistoric discoveries because it is classified in the same animal group as humans. Additionally, it was a distant ancestor. Its classification of animal group is called bilaterians. These animals are bilateral, meaning they have two symmetrical sides. Nearly all animals are bilaterians, including humans. The famous scientist, Charles Darwin, always knew that there was a missing link in the genetic chain connecting more complex life forms on Earth to each other. If Darwin was still alive today, he would be excited to see that the discovery of the Acharya helped solve his genetic mystery.
Thanks, Clara. Archaeologists have been very busy as they have also made a recent discovery in Rome, Italy. Italian archaeologists have discovered a cenotaph that honors Romulus, the founder and first king of ancient Rome. A cenotaph is a monument that is created to honor someone who died. In this case, the archaeologists found an empty sarcophagus, or coffin, in honor of Romulus inside the iconic Roman Forum. According to the lead archaeologist, the monument honoring Romulus dates back to 6th century BC, or about 2,600 years ago. Romulus' story is very interesting. In Roman mythology, Romulus and his brother Remus were sons of the Roman god, Mars. They were abandoned on the banks of a river, where a she-wolf found them and nursed them back to health. The brothers are said to have founded Rome in 753 BC and fought to the death for who would be in charge. Romulus won and killed Remus, making Romulus ancient Rome's first king. Talk about sibling rivalry.
I guess that's why it's called Rome, not Reem. Now let's travel to Myanmar, formerly Burma in Asia. In Myanmar, a 68-year-old woman, Wendy Nyampui, has been fighting plastic pollution in a creative way. Myanmar itself has tragic history and was controlled by an impressive military until 2011. Since then, the government has been relatively unorganized, and waste, especially plastic waste, has become a significant problem. Trash gets thrown onto the street, into the waterways, and some people even burn it, causing air pollution. Wendy Nyampui is tackling Myanmar's pollution problem face-on. Let's see how she is doing it. I guess someone's trash really can become treasure after all.
Well, this really proves that everyone, no matter how small, can make a difference in society.
That's right. Active News subscribers, for this week's Get Active question, we want to know, how can you make a difference in your community?
Thanks for that Get Active question of the week, Clara. These days, it is especially important to give back to your community.
During social distancing, it can be hard to feel like you're part of a community. Let's now go to our Get Active anchor, Oscar, to hear his idea about how he can make a difference in his community. Take it away, Oscar.
Thank you, Clara and Isabella. Oscar O'Connor here for your Get Active question of the week. This week, we want to know, how can you make a difference in your community? One of the best ways to make a difference in your community, whether or not we are in social distancing, is donating to a local homeless shelter. Homeless shelters always need help, and they need even more help during a time like this because a lot of their volunteers aren't working there anymore. You can donate many things to a homeless shelter, such as money, food, and second-hand items such as shoes or clothing. If it's not during a pandemic like this one, volunteering your time at a local homeless shelter can be an amazing way to give back and feel like a part of your community. Now we want to hear your ideas. How can you make a difference in your community? Log on to the AcTv News website at www.actv-news.com and share your ideas on the Get Active blog. I'm Oscar O'Connor, reminding you to stay informed and get active.
Thanks, Oscar. Active News subscribers, don't forget to post your ideas on the Get Active blog at www.actv-news.com. You won't want to miss it.
Well, that's all from us here at Active News. I'm Isabella Galbraith.
And I'm Clara Pierce, reminding you to stay informed and get active.